Becoming Unbreakable, Season 1, Episode 1, When Life Changes Overnight. There are moments in life that divide everything into a before and an after. Moments that don't ask your permission, don't wait for convenience, and don't care how strong you were the day before. For me, it began with something as ordinary as a cold. Before I became ill, I walked 5 miles almost every day with my dog. At weekends, I could swim 40 lengths in under an hour. I wasn't an athlete, but I was fit. I was active. I trusted my body. I didn't think twice about breath, stamina, or energy. And then something shifted. At first, it was subtle. The tail end of a cold that didn't quite clear. A slight struggle with breathing when I bent down or walked uphill. One of those symptoms you explain away with, "I'm run down. I'll be fine in a few days." But the days came and went, and I wasn't fine. Walking became harder. Breathing became an effort. Simple tasks left me winded in ways that didn't make sense for someone who used to swim lengths without thinking. I went to my GP. We checked for everything: chest infections, asthma, lingering inflammation. I was given antibiotics, but nothing changed. And then came the moment that would quietly shift the ground beneath me. I went back to the GP. She asked the nurse to put me on a nebulizer. 10 minutes, she said. I sat there, breathing in the mist, waiting for the relief that never came. When she walked back into the room, she didn't even sit down. She picked up the phone, spoke to reception, and said, "Dial 999, get an ambulance immediately." In that moment, everything inside me sank. It wasn't a panic. It wasn't drama. It was something deeper. An instinct that told me something serious was happening. Something much bigger than a cold. I was taken to hospital. In the emergency department, they were extraordinary. Fast, thorough, calm, and completely focused. ECG, blood tests, a chest x-ray, plans for a chest CT and an echocardiogram the next day. Everything was efficient, logical, reassuring, until that evening arrived. That night, my breathing collapsed. I was fighting for every breath. My chest burned. My lungs felt tight, heavy, drowning in the air that wouldn't move. I felt hot, then freezing, then dizzy. My heart was pounding. but somehow weak at the same time. Every breath felt like a choice I had to make manually. Breathe in. Stay conscious. Don't stop. And the fear that crept in was unlike anything I'd felt in my life. I was afraid to sleep because I wasn't sure I'd wake up again. That's not an exaggeration. It was a primal, physical fear, the kind that lives beneath language, beneath thought. And here's the thing. When you're a leader, especially in healthcare, you're used to being the calm one, the steady one, the person who brings reassurance. But there, in that hospital bed, everything was reversed. I wasn't the guide. I wasn't the expert. I wasn't the leader. I was the patient, the frightened one, the one holding on. The next morning, I was taken for a chest CT. Later, I went for an echocardiogram, an ultrasound of the heart. I didn't know at the time, but those two scans were about to rewrite my life. Within 30 minutes of the echo, a cardiology doctor walked quickly onto the respiratory ward where I was staying. She didn't waste time. "Andrew, we're preparing a bed for you in the coronary care unit." I remember the room seeming to go quiet. I remember her face, serious, kind and steady. I remember my stomach dropping in a way it never had before. I was moved to the highest dependency section of CCU, wired to monitors, oxygen fitted, nurses moving with quiet urgency, CPAP being discussed, more tests, more wires, more numbers flashing on screens above me. Then the words that changed everything. "You're in heart failure due to dilated cardiomyopathy. Your heart's pumping function is only 10%. The normal range is 55 to 75%. You also have a significant amount of fluid in your lungs." Over the following days, they measured it. 4 litres of fluid. 4 litres! That's why I felt like I was drowning. That's why breathing had become a fight. That's why sleep felt dangerous. This was not a cold. This was not asthma. This was not a chest infection. This was heart failure. And in that moment, laying in a hospital bed, machines beeping around me, the weight of those words settling in, the world narrowed into something incredibly simple. Stay present. Stay calm. Keep breathing. Keep going. That's all I could do. And here's a leadership message hidden inside all of this. The one I didn't understand until much later. When life changes overnight, your first job is not to be strong. Your first job is to be honest. Honest about what's happening. Honest with yourself. Honest with someone you trust. Honest about the fear, the confusion, the loss of control. Because honesty anchors you when everything else feels like it's floating away. Let me give you one quick tool that helped me then and still helps me now. The name, breathe, choose method. 1. Name what's real. I'm scared. I'm breathless. I don't know what's happening. I'm overwhelmed. Naming reduces the brain's threat response. 2. 1. Steady breath. Not deep, not forced, just steady. Enough to remind your body you're still here. And 3. Choose one next step. Tell someone. Sit upright. Ask a question. Let a nurse know. Allow yourself to rest. Anything, as long as it's one step. This is how you move through shock without letting fear take over. And here's your reflective pause for today. Where in your life has something changed suddenly? And what truth do you need to name today? Take a breath with me. Because although life may break your plans, it does not have to break you. This was the moment my life changed overnight. The moment everything I knew about my body, my strength, and my identity shifted. But it was also the moment that I began learning what it truly means to become unbreakable. Join me next week for episode 2.